And then when I don't respect that, the man is getting upset. That's kind of funny to me. Because I can prove to you in detail that the Bible has not been changed. We have the Bible today exactly as they had it 2,000 years ago. If you go into John Ryland's library today, there in Dinsgate, you will find a handwritten manuscript of the Gospel of John. That was my first point. That was a nice start. My second point, which in fact is the primary point, is the fact that Jesus Christ is risen from the dead. Historical fact. Yes, Jesus is actually risen from the dead. Historical fact. I can close this Bible. We can go into secular history. And in secular history, you hear them talking about the resurrection of Jesus. You hear them talking about the resurrection of Jesus. In secular history. Secular history itself talks about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. There are historians who lived in that time.
Oh yeah, the answer I was going to say.
There are historians who lived in that time. My brother, my brother, can I just get on this? I need to get on with.
Quran has the right story.
It's a historical fact that Jesus rose from the dead. Historical fact. Even if we were to close the Bible and go into just secular history itself, you still hear them talking about the resurrection of Jesus. I will give you a few examples. There was a man who lived in AD 55. His name was Cornelius Tacitus. Cornelius Tacitus was a historian. He talked about Jesus. There was a man called Lucian of Samosata. Lucian of Samosata lived in the latter half of the 2nd century. And Lucius Samosata is not in the Bible. He's a secular historian, but he talked about Jesus. Another one is called Suetonius. Suetonius was a Roman historian, and Suetonius lived around AD 49. Suetonius spoke about the resurrection of Jesus. He spoke about Jesus Christ. Another example is a man called Pliny the Younger. Pliny the Younger lived in AD 112. Pliny the Younger lived in the time of Jesus, and he spoke about Jesus. Thales, AD 52. It says here that Thales was one of the first secular writers who mentioned Christ. And Thales was a historian who lived around AD 52. Thales talked about Jesus. Another historian is a historian called Phlegon. It says here that Phlegon was another secular authority, and he wrote a history called the Chronicles. And Phlegon also lived around the time of Jesus, and he spoke about Jesus. There was another historian called Marabasarapion. He lived AD 70. Marabasarapion also spoke about Jesus. All these are historians who lived in time, and they talked about Jesus. Not in the Bible, just your normal secular historians talking about Jesus Christ. That's the physical evidence I got.
So people find it.
It's only in the Christian Bible we hear about a man being risen from the dead. Only in the Christian Bible. You can go to any other faith, and you're more than welcome to do that. And I respect everybody's decision or anybody's choice. But at the end of the day, the only time or the only place where you hear about a man being risen from the dead is in the Christian Bible. It's in the Christian Bible. Nowhere else. I've just given 8 examples of secular historians who spoke about Jesus. 8 secular historians. Not people from the Bible, but people from secular history still testify to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So, when you give that to a man and the man says that he has no respect for history, I don't know what to think of that man. Because I've just given 8 secular historians, people that are not in the Bible, people in secular history still talking about the resurrection of Christ. And people find a problem with that. But it's history. Are we saying that we have to rewrite history now? Because I've just given a man historical fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And he said history is wrong. How can history be wrong when all history does is record facts? Now one more thing. That's what I'm saying. If you can close the Bible, you can put the Bible to one side. You can go into your history. Even in history itself, they're still talking about Jesus being risen from the dead. Still talking about Jesus being risen from the dead. And the resurrection of Jesus Christ, recorded by people that loved him and hated him both. The resurrection of Jesus is not recorded just by the disciples, but the resurrection of Jesus Christ is recorded by people that hated him as well. I think the other gentleman got upset because I say to him that the one that I believe in rose from the dead, but the one that you believe in is not been risen from the dead. It's not my fault that the one you believe in has not resurrected. He's not risen from the dead. It's not my fault. The one I believe in, Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham, has the power to rise from the dead. That's why I believe in him. The reason why I put my faith 100% in Jesus Christ is because Jesus is risen from the dead. Simple. That's why I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't know who you believe in, and it's okay. I respect your decision 100%. All I'm saying is that the reason why I believe in Jesus Christ is because of Easter Sunday. Because Easter Sunday, Jesus Christ rose from the dead. That's what I believe in. Whoever you believe in, I respect it 100%. But it's not right to come to me and tell me what to believe. If a religious leader is risen from the dead, if he's resurrected from the dead, he's resurrected from the dead. It's a historical fact. There's no two ways about it. If he is not risen from the dead, he is not. So I take great confidence in knowing that the resurrection of Jesus Christ has a lot of overwhelming evidence. I take great boldness in knowing that the one I believe in has been risen from the dead. I take great boldness in that. And I cannot be intimidated in no way, shape or form at all. Because the Jesus Christ I believe in is the Jesus Christ who was risen from the dead. I don't stop people from believing what they want to believe. I don't even approach people. I just come out and speak. But people approach me. And sometimes, like if anybody was watching, earlier on I got told I was a foolish man. But that's okay. Because the preaching of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Not for a second. I'm not ashamed to come out here and hold my hand high and say that the reason I believe in Jesus is because Jesus is risen from the dead. Almost immediately, when I say this, it's followed by this question: oh, do you know the Bible has been changed? That's what people say to me all the time. Oh, the Bible has been changed. And my response is always the same. If the Bible was changed, tell me what it said before the change. Tell me what the changes are. And then tell me what it said after the change. No one can seem to answer that question. No one can seem to answer that question for me. So if you're listening and you have the answer to this question, please come and help me. Come and help me out. If you say that the Bible has been changed,
Jesus came.
yeah, it's Jesus' day today. If you feel like the Bible's been changed, I need you to come and tell me what it said before the change. Tell me what the changes are, and tell me what it said after the change. Oh, I'll be so happy that you give me that information. Then I can have something to go and look at. If anyone's listening, and they can, and you know you can answer this question, please come and answer this question for me. Because to me, it's always the same. It's always the same people that come with this question, that come with the statement. Oh, do you know the Bible has been changed? That's what they say to me all the time. If the Bible is changed, I want to know what it said before the change. I want to know where the changes were made, and I want you to tell me what it said after the changes. I ask the question all the time. No one can seem to answer that question for me. So if you're out there and you can answer this question, if you're out there and if you can tell me where the changes were made, I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. Because you see, it's one thing to make a statement like that and not follow up the statement with facts. I need cold, hard facts. I need the copy, the original copy before the change. I need the copy after the change. If you can tell me that, or if you can show that to me, we're good. If you cannot prove that, then retract your statement. Because to me, it's just hot air. You're not telling me the changes, you're just telling me that it was changed. It doesn't make any sense. Anybody who's bold enough to say that the Bible was changed, I need you to tell me what it said before the changes. I need you to tell me what it said where the changes were made. I need you to tell me what it said after the changes. If you can do that, then retract your statement. You have no facts. And I'm dealing with facts. Earlier on, I gave us 8 secular historians. Historians that are not in the Bible, just your normal secular historians who lived 2,000 years ago. Men like Cornelius Tacitus, men like Thales, men like Phlegon, men like Serapion. I've given you those names. I've given you the references. Those people are not Bible writers. They're not part of the authors of the Bible. And yet, they still talk about Jesus. And yet, they still testify to the fact that Jesus is risen from the dead. For the title that you gave. 8 secular historians. I love